I always assumed that everyone inherently loves music. I couldn't ever imagine myself not playing music. I mean, like, music for me is just something it's in me. It's in my heart, it's in my bones, it's in my soul.
We play like what we want to play, and like we sort of vibe and figure it out in the moment, and there's no hard and fast rules to what we do. We're just playing from the heart and having a good time. We're Mellowship. We play psychedelic rock, a little bit of funk influences. That's Misha on drums. I'm Noah, play guitar, vocals, and we're here to rock. Okay, I'm Noah. I'm the lead singer and guitarist of Mellowship. My parents started all the children on instruments as kids, so I started playing violin at 3. I never really liked playing violin. I played it for around 9 years. It was mostly classical. And then eventually, once I started getting into rock music, I really wanted to play guitar, and then I started strumming on my brother's guitar, and I decided around age of 12 that I wanted to switch to guitar. Just like playing with other musicians was also very fun to me too, as a child, to think about. And that chance only really happened in high school, but I always wanted to play with other people, but you have to find the right crowd. At one of my band practices for another band I was with, I heard some really incredible drumming coming from inside the practice room. And I was like, whoa, that sounds like so cool. Like it was what I thought about in my mind of the drummer that I wanted to be playing with in my band. I heard that coming through the door. And I walked in, and that's sort of how me and Misha met.
My name is Misha, and I drum and do backing vocals for Mellowship. So I've always loved music. When I was a kid, my parents played the Peter and the Wolf soundtrack. They got that for me, and I had a CD player in my room, and I would blast it at night before I would go to bed. And so I would listen to like Peter and the Wolf, I would listen to Mozart and also to Beethoven. I was just like really into music. But it wasn't until when I was 4 years old that I discovered rock music. And that really changed my life. Drumming is the first instrument that I fell in love with playing. I played the violin before that, but I didn't love it. It didn't click with me. I started playing drums on Rock Band drums, like the video game. The way that I did it is that I actually took my violin prosthesis, which was a molded piece made out of, I guess, like plaster that went around my hand, and it had a little spatula on the outside, so that it kind of stuck out a little bit. And so there was essentially like my hand was pressed up against the bottom of this device. And the eureka moment came when I just stuck a drumstick right in between there, and voila, I was able to play drums. Because it gave me a little bit of stick rebound that I need to be able to, everyone needs to be able to play drums. And then it was just a process of iterating from there. So, I knew that worked, but I still needed something that gave me a little bit more feedback. This wasn't meant for drumming. So I started playing around with different designs until we kind of got to this one here, which is basically just a Velcro strap that I sewed a piece of silicone too, and a buckle. And I just throw on the Strat. Like this. And then I stick the drumstick in, like so. And that allows me to play drums. In terms of what it's like to play drums with a little hand or a disability, I mean, I don't know what it's like to play drums without one. So for me, it's just playing drums. My disability, having a little hand, gives me a unique playing style. You guys talked before about anomalies. What makes you an anomaly? I definitely think that, playing drums with one hand, but I don't play just with one hand. I play with my hand. And that does make me an anomaly. It gives me a particular kind of sound. It means that I have a heavy left hand. And that's good for rock music. And I think that's what Noah's looking for to a certain extent. I'd never really played with a guitar player who was that good. I remember jamming with him the first time, and it was like magic. It was something kind of clicked. I had exactly the drum sound that Hirsch was looking for, and he had exactly the guitar sound that I was looking for. And so it's kind of like musical chemistry. It's like I found my musical soulmate.
So the thing about Misha's playing that really inspired me was I heard some virtuosity, but also I heard a lot of power and that fluidity from him that made me think that like he is being underutilized, and like I want to I want to see where something can go with me and him as musical partners. And I knew right away, even before I played with him, I knew like, okay, this is gonna be a good match. And then once we started playing together the first time, on our first initial jam, I think we both like really felt it, and we were like pushing each other, like from the start. And it was a important experience for both of us because I think we both found something that we've been looking for.
I met Noah because another drummer who was in the jam that I was doing knew Noah from high school. Yeah, and then I guess you messaged me after that?
I asked that drummer to send me this drummer's number. And that's how it started.
Psychedelic rock is a genre of rock music that came to popularity during the 1960s. I would associate it with people like Jimi Hendrix, Cream,
The Beatles,
Zombies,
Jefferson Airplane, Led Zeppelin. Yeah, it's I guess it's like the next form of like rock and roll from the 60s, like incorporating like different, more experimental sounds, textures, chord progressions. It's just a way to like expand upon like the standard rock formula.
And there's no real like boundary for a form. And I think what's kind of cool about psychedelic rock is that as a genre, it itself is trying to push the boundaries.